Hi, my name is Gawaine Ross. In the 10 years I was involved in witchcraft, I performed one exorcism myself. I have seen ghosts, heard them, and been punched by them. Exorcising them is mostly a matter of courage combined with a ferocious attitude and a steel blade. You can imagine that this gives me a unique perspective on this movie and movies of this type. This Lionsgate film was released in 2009, starring Kyle Gallner as Matt and Virginia Madsen as his mother.
Look, I want you to know that if...
If what?
That if I die...
You won't.
Kyle received a Young Actors Award in 2010 for his role in this film, and he was very good. It is based on a true story, according to the author Ray Garton, who wrote for the family. The real mother, Carmen Reed, has her own website in which she claims the story is true, but that it was embellished by the studio. Of course, she has an interest in saying this, as it would boost sales, presumably. I found the story mostly credible. Matt, a 15-year-old boy, has an incurable cancer of the throat. His parents find an experimental treatment for him in a hospital in Connecticut. In order to be closer to the hospital, the family moves there and buys a big old Victorian house that used to be a mortuary. Naturally, Matt's room is in the basement, the same basement in which the corpses were embalmed. There is a lot of locked closet space in this basement, and it puzzles me why the family wasn't curious enough to want to open the closets.
Straighten out that closet one of these days.
The doctor warns his parents that the treatment could have strange side effects, and that if these happen, the treatment must be stopped. Matt knows this, so when he sees the ghosts, he assumes they are hallucinations and keeps quiet about it. Now, I was a nurse for 9 years. Most of the makeup for monsters in movies just makes the lead character look ill. The ghosts, of course, are images of the corpses, which are wrapped up like mummies in bandages. This is fairly unnecessary and weird. Real mortuaries or funeral homes don't wrap bodies like mummies. Carmen Reed suspects that the mortician was involved in necrophilia. I don't buy this. You don't need to wrap a corpse you've had sex with in bandages to hide the evidence. I agree with the scripts that he was involved in necromancy, which is calling up the dead to force them to do things for you. This is supported by the strange letters he cut into the skin of all the corpses. In fact, the bodies were covered with this writing. He also cut off their eyelids. I suppose this is meant to keep them aware of this side of the Great Divide. Now they are the angry dead, which is an ancient theme in mythology, probably pre-human even, as Neanderthals buried their dead. The dead are buried so they won't come back to haunt you. One of the things I really liked about this movie is that the ghosts don't really do very much. There's the usual poltergeist activity of banging on doors and knocking things off shelves and breaking light bulbs, but no one is levitated out of bed and then dragged across a room in the air.
Turn the lights on, please! Thank you!
There's none of that nonsense. This is what makes the movie real to me, and therefore spooky. Movies like The Exorcist seem totally unreal to me. No one can twist her head 360 degrees and not get a broken neck. In truth, the embellishments were considerable. There was no writing on the bodies because there weren't any bodies. Nevertheless, as art, I found it disturbing. The last disturbing movie I saw was Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. I had to watch this movie over a period of 2 days. When a movie is that disturbing, I call it good cinema.
It was one bright day in the middle of the night. 2 dead boys got up to fight. Back to back, they faced one another. They drew their swords, and they shot each other. The deaf policeman, he heard the noise, and he came and he killed those 2 dead boys.
Matt, you're scaring me.
I'll join the club.
According to the lore, demons and devils are very afraid of iron.
Wrong what?